And I'm all sweaty right now. Right now, because you're not here, you can't do this. You can't go, ew, Manic Mark, you're all sweaty. You're sweaty. You can't do that. So I'm telling you, right now, I'm telling you, I'm sweaty. I'm very sweaty. Hey everybody, it's me, Manic Mark, coming to you from the bunker system. Oh man. I've been laying flat on my back for about a day and a half now. And I just thought I'd drag myself out of bed and do a record video. I had the flu thing, on 7 days on Friday. The fever broke in the morning. I felt pretty good. Then it started to come back on me. So I was going to go to the doctor, okay? So the fever came back on me. But I didn't go. I figured, it'll go away again. Saturday I woke up. I was like, didn't feel really too horrible, but piled the wife in the car and took her to her mom's house. And then I went record shopping. I got some interesting stuff. But I'm going to tell the rest of the story before I get to that. So then, on the way back, so I'm out. She says, take all the time you can, because I haven't seen my mom in a long time. All right. So, after about 3.5 hours, I'm going to go. I'm so kind of tired. And all I want to do, I haven't eaten anything, and I just want to go home, go to bed. So I pick her up. We get right to our exit, and she says, I need to go to the emergency room. Migraines. See, when you're chronically ill with migraines, you do that. You go to the emergency room a few times a year, at least 3 or 4 times. Anyway, so I know, and I know what that means. How much time? At least how much time this is gonna be. Usually, it's at least 3 hours. No. So we go to the. I'm not even going to tell you what hospital it is. It's kind of in the city, okay? Well, they're all in the city, but for some reason this is more urban. I don't know. Somehow situated so that the people that go there are more urban city folks. I don't know. So I'm breaking into the video here. Probably the frame changed. I don't know. Anyway, because I left out one of the more interesting parts of the part. And that is, while I'm driving to the hospital in an urban area, there's nobody. It's cold. There's nobody out. It's like I said, like 2 in the afternoon, something like that. There's a hospital there, right? But I pull up to this light, and I hear a horn honk behind me. I didn't pay any attention. Then it honks again, and I kind of look back, and there's a person in a van with the side windows are tinted, and whoever's driving, I can't see, it's because it's kind of dark in here. He's motioning or something. I have no idea. Okay, so the light changes. I pull up to the next light, and he pulls up next to me, 2 lanes. He's over here. I'm here. He's here, and he rolls his window down. And my wife's like, oh, with the migraine. And I'm like, roll the window down. She rolls the window down. And I just look at him, and he just looks at me. So just for a few seconds. Then I finally say, do you want something? And he just pauses for a second. He looks at me and says, do you want something? I'm like, no, I don't want anything. And the light changes right then. I go through it, and then he turns. And finally dawned on me, instead of selling drugs on the street corner up there, it's safer if you drive around looking for people that are driving around looking for drugs. There's a lot less opportunity that you'll be probably busted for selling drugs if you just go out and find your clients that way. It seems like. I don't know. That's what I figured he was doing, selling drugs. I was not in a good mood to be talking to anybody. Right then and there, I was... Okay, here we are, we're back. I'm telling the story. We go in, and we sit down at like 2:30. She's dying with the migraine, okay? Any little sound, which there are a lot of, and the lights, she's there cut like this, I feel like crap. It's getting worse. We sit there from 2:30 until 6 o'clock before she goes into the back. Then there's another hour and a half that I'm sitting there. It was not very happy, to say the least. And they had 2 television sets. One was a big set, and I just happened to sit down kind of facing that. And then there was another one up here. But the signals weren't synced. So the audio coming out of this one was slightly ahead of the picture on this one, which the sound was just turned up a little bit. So there was this echo, and I couldn't understand it. Not that I wanted to understand it, because it was one of those news channels I don't like to watch. Anyway, there were 4 armed guards and a metal detector. Then, Sunday I know, I feel crappy. I probably should have just checked myself in, but I figured, my wife's saying, you check yourself in too, and then you can get your antibiotics. And I'm like, I'm not paying emergency room prices for antibiotics, you know. Then when you go to the emergency room, when she goes there, it's $1,000 an hour, however long she's in there. That's the last bill, $1,000 an hour. It's great. Okay. And I'm like, I'm not paying emergency room prices for a $9 pack of antibiotics, so I held off, and so I got them. But the thing of it is, someone built this doctor-in-a-box place down in an old Long John Silver's down in the Latonia Shopping Center. It's about 9 miles away, and they were open on Sunday. So I went down early, about 10, and there wasn't a line, and the 2 guys that were one in front of me, one behind me, they all had the same thing that I had. They must have seen hundreds of people with this upper respiratory infection that apparently I have. So I got this blister pack of, I've never had this. Where did I put it? I thought I had it in my pocket. I thought I brought it down. It's just so I could tell you what the name was. Enzo AZ something anyway. There's 6 of them. Okay, I'm like, it's only 6. Then I read the small type and it says 1 tablet is 30 doses. 6 tablets are 30 doses. 30 doses. So I had to take 2 tablets the first day. So that was like a lot. That was a lot of doses. I don't have a calculator down here either. Okay, is that the end of the stories? So tonight you're all probably going to go out and party and have a good time. And at midnight you'll kiss somebody, and then you'll have wild and hot monkey love. After that, I'm going to go to bed right after I make this video. I'm going to go back to bed. I hope I have enough energy to get some leftovers out of the refrigerator. Maybe I'll splurge and have a Pepsi. Why a Pepsi? Because I don't drink Coke. These lights are awful bright, though. Herbert thinks this is the beginning of the flu apocalypse. It's the flu apocalypse, and I feel so like kind of weak. Like all the joints are weak and the muscles are weak, and I'm like tottering when I walk, and because I can't really control my muscles. I was like, I'm walking like this, and I'd go up. I have this urge to just walk up to anybody I see, go. And then in a few minutes they're like, you know what I'm saying? It's the flu apocalypse. Anyway, let's go right to the records. I bought this because this was an interesting looking cover. I hope I don't. That in fact, I could have taken this into this guy to sell this record. It's a vocalist. Okay. Oh well, go on. I took a chance on this. I don't know. The cover was interesting. The Percussions of Strasbourg. I don't know what that's going to be like, but I picked it up. Local pressing on Jewel. It's a jazz combo, a trio. Basically, there's 4 songs on the record. The drummer used to work for the guy that runs the record store. He had a restaurant, and it was said the drummer was his house drummer who died a number of years ago, apparently. This was interesting. 12-string guitar. Sort of an older looking Deborah Harry, Woman on the Back, from the 80s. Go on to the next one. I did listen to like a part of one track on this album. This is a private press out of Studio City, California, and the last track is Gloomy Sunday. And there's a woman trying to sound like Billie Holiday and not having much success, I may say. So I think that could be a curiosity that I'll enjoy. In the Dollar Bin, Hank Crawford, I have no idea. I picked it up. It was $1. This was a great cover, also in the Dollar Bin. Relax with Larry Ferrari. He's at the Hammond organ. Look, it's all brown. He's sitting in a space-age chair. She's enjoying a cup of coffee. He's blowing cigar smoke in her face. She apparently seems to like it, though. Stan Kenton, Artistry in Bossa Nova. I started to get into Stan Kenton, and I want his... There's 3 releases of it, I think. There's a 10-inch release, an earlier 10-inch release, City of Glass. It's sort of experimental jazz, and I got used the right words to describe it. And I bought another Stan Kenton album that was really great. So I've been looking for Stan Kenton stuff now. Stan Kenton, Cuban Fire. That should be good. Another album that should be good is the Modern Quartet, Von Tessa. I think that will be excellent. I have no idea who Fred Katz is, but this is a great cover. Looks like from the 50s. There's no date on the back of this one. Cello and orchestra, modern jazz arrangements. These are probably going to be subdued. A jazz album on Liberty, VIP, very important person, Conley Graves Trio. All right, the Conley Graves Trio. This would be an early Liberty release. This is just a crazy cover. Okay, Dixieland and Mambo, hang in there. Manny Lopez and his orchestra, Cha Cha Cha. When I first looked at that, I thought, is he wearing high heels? And then I looked at it again, and no, he's not wearing any shoes whatsoever. Manny Lopez is not wearing any heels whatsoever at all. It's fabulous. That's the name of the title track. A Peter Gunn cover. That could be good. I don't know if it should be. It could be. For $1, I have no idea. It's some kind of chart. I think, is that a budget label, kind of? I don't know. Local thing. Springboro High School in 1978. These can always be good. They could be really horrible. I don't know. It's going to be choral, but there's a couple of pop songs they do covers of on the album, which might be interesting. This is another album I probably had once and got rid of, and I'll have to get rid of again. But it's just a great cover. It's a great cover. Lush themes from motion pictures. And why is it I've been collecting records all this time, and then last week I found a copy of this, and I found another copy of this thing. I have no idea. I think this one's going to go on eBay. That copy of that thing. A soundtrack I found for $1, but it's Manfred Mann. Manfred Mann, Up the Junction. I don't know. I was just curious to listen to that one. Here's the Tops album. I don't understand what the function of the die cut is, and I don't know if the sleeve's original, but it's on yellow vinyl. It's a compilation album, I think of. Yeah. The Gospel 4 says, climb the mountain with us. This is local. It's probably a Wright record. I won't know without looking at the label. But there's a photograph of the Gospel 4 getting ready to climb the mountain. Ooh, they're climbing really sharp, pointy, jaggedy mountains. Pick this up. It's a golden tone. It's budget. Rene Maurice and his dance orchestra, dance in Dorsey style, but it's got a Moreau, piece of Moreau, part of a piece of art, Moreau, I think. Moreau? Don't know. Oh, I've got a million of these, but I'll trade this away. Cha Cha Cha. I had to pick it up. And this was fun. This is going to be avant-garde, I believe, or at least modernist. Ingrid Dingfelder. It's Ingrid Dingfelder. You want to see what she looks like, Ingrid Dingfelder? I don't think I would be wanting to change my name to Ingrid Dingfelder. Sometimes I read these names and they're so awesome I want to go out and change my name. It's a long and involved process to do that, so I never have changed my name, even one time. But Ingrid Dingfelder is not one of those names that really sets me on fire. Because the cover's just so awesome on it. It's an organ record by Johnny Smith on Arrow, which is, I've never heard of it. Look at the Space Age cover on this sucker. It's cheesecake, but look at all the stuff that's going on in there and how the photograph is designed. It's just a great, kind of a weirdly designed, great space agey, cheesecakey cover. I was just very happy to find that. And that's it. Okay. Back to the regular Manic Mark.